This is the morning show here on 90.3 KEXP Seattle. I'm John Richards here in the live room, and what is a semi-tradition here on the morning show, our last live session of the year, we end with local band Stag, who are here once again at the KEXP Performance Space. Take it away, fellas.
More than effort to survive. Yours is the fate of. Fill me up as I close my eyes. If I'm gonna survive, fight for a life, and for a night, get on the line, finish the wine and say our goodbye. Is this too much to be right? Life isn't a kingdom, but this is the only time. If I'm gonna survive, fight for a life, and all the night, hands on the line, finish the wine, say our goodbye.
It's KEXP Morning Show, Stag, live here on the Morning Show with a couple of songs from the latest Electric Mistress, and sounding really, really good this morning. And there are 8 Stags in here.
There are many Stags this morning. We brought everybody.
I always appreciate
gaggle of Stags.
I like getting the horns in the morning, so I appreciate it very much.
And the keys. We brought keys this time.
Yeah. Which one of you wants to introduce the band? Steve?
What? Oh, God. All right, we got Paul over here on the keys. We've got Max over here on the sax. We've got Rick on the trumpets. These are all the auxiliary Stag members who we're very, very grateful have joined us at this ungodly hour.
Can you introduce the regular Stag members too?
I
know their
don't know
names?
them.
we
So
witness protection, bro.
yeah, exactly. So Pete's over here on bass, Rob over here on drums. We've got John on jump up and down guitar, and we've got Ben here on also jump up and down guitar. And I'm Steve.
Jumping up and down on vocals.
Jumping up and down.
Last I saw you guys were all hopping around in New York City. We were at a block party. That was a lot of fun.
That was amazing. It was super fun.
It was cool. Playing the streets of New York, not you know.
Yeah.
And getting noise complaints.
Yeah, I thought that was a nice touch when we were asked by the police to turn it down.
We are too loud for the upper.
Well, and I looked. It was the sound man, and I said, "Dude, you have the PA," and he said, "The PA's off." oh, sorry.
Well, my favorite years of music, late '70s New York for me is like my kind of favorite era of music. If I could go back to one, that might be it. On this record, man, you got a total swag like '70s vibe. Was that planned? Is it just
It is a rich vein that can be mined forever.
Yes.
I mean, there's so much good stuff there.
Yeah, I mean, that whole period, and mixed with sort of like early '70s trash shop glam. A little Bowie, a little Mott the Hoople. A little glitter, a little glam. Yeah, it's all good.
Well, I think you nailed it on this release. And this is, I guess this is number 8, counting EPs and full lengths, you guys. Good job.
Well, thanks.
10 years strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, this next year is our 10th anniversary.
That's awesome. Are you going to do anything for that?
Well, there's that, and
should.
it's the 5th annual Summer Stag Party, so we're going to do something.
Can you mention that party, by the way? That is like, a lot of people dig that party. What did you guys do this year?
Well, so every year, we kind of, as men of certain age, it's tough to, beg, borrow, and steal gigs everywhere supporting people. So we just thought, let's just throw our own. So we just called around to all of our favorite friends locally in bands and friends. I mean, we all know people in bands all over the U.S., so we always call one band from like outside the area and say, hey, come play our party. It's going to be a ton of people there. And so we go down to Slim's and just stuff the place full of great music, and it's so much fun. Like, we sell it out every year, and it's like, that's what I live for, you know?
Well, you need a big one for the 10-year anniversary.
Indeed.
No pressure.
We'll figure it out. But no, we were great. It was great. We got Clawhammer to reform, a 90s favorite that came up this year and played, and it was awesome. So.
Hey,
Love
Ben,
Battery before that.
yeah,
That
I was going to
great.
mention that. Ben, while you're near a mic, too, I wanted to mention what you're involved with, too. You're doing such a great job here. Black Fret is this this nonprofit that awards grant money to up-and-coming local musicians. And can you talk a little bit about it?
Sure. So it's a nonprofit that started in Austin a little over 6 years ago, and with the premise that local music should be supported, like the opera, the ballet, or the symphony. And in the work they've done down there, they've distributed over $1.75 million to the musicians of Austin. And with the changes that Seattle are going through and the pressure on our creative community and our musicians in particular, we need to do whatever we can do to make sure that this remains a music city. And so we're scaling that program to Seattle. Been working on it for the last year, and we're going to launch in 2020.
Can you tell me a little bit about how it's done?
Sure. So between our members, a music advisory board, and a media partner, artists are nominated for consideration. They don't have to play one of our shows, but they play throughout the year, and then they're voted on by all those constituencies, and then we award grants. So we're looking at January of 2021 to give our first dollars away.
Hey, well, good job.
Yeah.
That's great. Anything we can do to keep musicians fed, let alone paying their rent.
Exactly.
I mean, we have to think about the region more. People can't necessarily all live in Seattle, but the thought that this city that's culture and vibe and spirit is so based in music that if that was to evaporate, I think that we would all be unhappy. And then what would you guys champion on the radio?
Hey, I agree. You know, one of the beautiful things about this station is, you know, if it weren't for the local music scene, we wouldn't be here, and vice versa. You know, we support it, but because it's so rich, and it's scary when you start thinking about artists not able to live in our own town.
It's true.
So good job. And again, more information. Oh, where can people go to?
They can go to blackfret.org.
Awesome. I highly recommend you do that.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you got the new release. You got a couple more songs from it, fellas. Stag live here on The Morning Show.
She's gone. There's no giving up.
right, this one's for Jimmy.
Some kind of something got us under control. Everywhere I look, nowhere to go. Oh, some kind of feeling, something different today. If there's something out there, if there's something to change, all I need is something tonight. All I need is you to survive. All I need is you tonight. All I need, all I need. Some kind of something got us under control. Everywhere I look, nowhere to go. All I need is something tonight. All I need is you to survive. All I need is you tonight. All I need, all I need.
Stag live here on the morning show. Electric Mistress, the new album. Sounding great, you guys.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Thank you.
And a big thank you to Steve and Ben and Rob and Pete and John and Max and Rick and Paul and George and Ringo and everybody.
Nick and Keith and anybody else.
Keith and everybody who is here today. And this is an opportunity as my last live session of 2019 to thank four of my favorite humans sitting here in a circle in the middle of the room. Jim and Scott and Justin and Alaia. They do such great work here. And our man, Kevin Suggs, back there. Good to see you, Kevin.
Indeed.
You are the man.
Thank you, Kevin.
That's your one thank you of the year, you guys. So thank you very much. And a huge thank you to our supporters who support local music and all these sessions here as well. This is 90.3 KEXP in Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.